Network. I'm Kate Czaplinski, bringing you the latest news today, including a peeping Tom getting tracked down by an angry witness, missing money from a police evidence safe, and much more. Rob Adams will have weather and the latest in high school sports, including the big news of a state record broken over the weekend. The HAN Network was there. Rob's also going to be telling us this week's nominees for our Athletes of the Week. Donald Ang will join us later to take a look back on this day in history. But first, flags in Connecticut are flying at half-staff today to honor the victims of the attacks in Paris, France. Governor Daniel P. Malloy directed flags to be lowered in accordance with a proclamation from President Barack Obama. Those flags will fly at half-staff until sunset this Thursday, November 19th. Thousands of dollars are reportedly missing from a Bridgeport police evidence safe. Prosecutors were waiting last month for key evidence in a murder trial, more than $9,000 that had been seized by Bridgeport police from the accused killer's home. But when Police Sergeant Luigi Tuccaroni pulled open the heavy door of the decades-old safe in the Bridgeport Police Department record room, the money was gone. According to the Connecticut Post, not just the cash from the murder case, but possibly $30,000 more that had been stored in the safe. Police Chief Joseph Gaudet said upon hearing and being made aware of the issue, he immediately referred it to the Office of Internal Affairs and an investigation was launched. He said the investigation is ongoing and it's their policy not to comment when an investigation is ongoing. The money was initially found missing October 14th. In an update on a story we brought you Friday, a Bridgeport man was arrested for reckless endangerment in the first degree, interfering with a police officer, reckless driving, engaging an officer in pursuit, and many other charges following a high-speed chase in Trumbull last Friday morning that began on the southbound ramp of Route 25 and ended on Old Town Road around 1:40 in the morning. Police said that Jose Rey's Jeep Grand Cherokee struck a police SUV vehicle that was occupied by two Trumbull officers, injuring both and resulting in severe vehicle damage. The officers were injured from the head-on collision, but escaped the accident without serious injury and were able to take the 50-year-old Rey into custody. Rey is being held on a $75,000 bond and will be arraigned in Bridgeport Superior Court. Police said that Rey is also wanted by Stratford Police Department for failure to appear in court prior to motor vehicle and drug charges. Rey was first observed by Trumbull police officer Kyle Lavin, who attempted to stop Rey's Jeep for having recently stolen plates. Police Chief Michael Lombardo told the Trumbull Times that Rey's vehicle went through a red light and entered Route 25 southbound at Daniels Farm Road and continued on the state highway before exiting off exit 6, where he struck the police cruiser. The officers and suspect were transported to the hospital for treatment. Well, a peeping Tom tracked down by an angry witness was arrested last Thursday for public indecency and trespassing. The male witness told police that while he was at his girlfriend's house sleeping, he was alerted by his girlfriend's daughter that while she was in the bathroom taking a shower, someone was looking through the window at her. The male witness said that after hearing this, he immediately got up and ran to the front porch where he could see that someone was at the bathroom window. After leaning over the porch railing, the male witness stated that he saw a black male wearing a gray hooded sweatshirt and khaki pants with his genitals exposed while looking inside the bathroom window. The suspect, later identified as 35-year-old Ricardo Roden, took off running behind an adjacent corner store. The male witness then got in his car and went looking for the man, catching up to him on Laurel Avenue. After getting out of his vehicle, the male witness proceeded to chase the suspect, who was headed eastbound on Beechwood Avenue. When police officers arrived, they saw the male witness and Roden holding each other by the collars of their respective shirts. The male witness later showed police officers where he observed the suspect pointing out a cinder block used by the suspect to get a better view into the window. Roden was placed under arrest and charged with public indecency, breach of peace in the 2nd degree, and trespassing in the 3rd degree. Well, a Westport man stopped for speeding in New Canaan had hundreds of Xanax pills, hallucinogenics, mushrooms, diazepam pills, and 2 ounces of pot in his car. 20-year-old Eric Milbauer of Westport was stopped for speeding around 2:40 in the morning on November 14th when New Canaan police clocked him going 65 miles per hour in a 45-mile-per-hour zone on New Norwalk Road. In addition to the drugs, Milbauer had in his possession a scale, rolling papers, and baggies. He was charged with transporting with the intent to sell a hallucinogenic substance, illegal possession of narcotics, transporting with the intent to sell a controlled substance, and illegal possession. He posted a $5,000 bond with a November 24th court date. Well, a misfiring furnace was all the warning that a Monroe family had that there were elevated carbon monoxide levels in their Edgewood Road home. According to Fire Marshal William Devlin, the fire department received a call last Thursday around 10:15 at night of an unidentified odor in the house. Fire volunteers arrived to find the occupants of the house outside, and the homeowner reported a possible furnace problem. Fire officials with test meters entered the house and immediately detected high carbon monoxide levels. After ventilating the house, the family was able to re-enter later that night around 11 o'clock. Davin reported that no CO detectors were inside the house and that the furnace had not been regularly serviced. In addition, there was evidence that the home's chimney was partially collapsed. Davin said the incident was only found due to the furnace not being able to operate properly and causing it to misfire, which in turn caused the odor throughout the home. Carbon monoxide is known as the silent killer due to its characteristics of being odorless, colorless, and lighter than air. Davin warned residents not to hesitate if they have or believe they have a carbon monoxide issue. In the event of a CO problem, residents should immediately call 911, exit the home, and wait outside for the fire department. All right, time to throw it over now to Rob Adams for a look at today's weather. Rob?
And Kate, we've got a sunny day outside, a high near 62 with a northwest wind from 3 to 7. Tonight we're clear, chilly, 34 degrees, but seasonal. I mean, that's really what it comes down to. Sunny and 48 for Tuesday. Wind chills are going to be between 30 and 40 early on, but the north wind will be 5 to 8 miles per hour. Patchy fog after 2 a.m. Tuesday night. Otherwise mostly clear, low 29. To Wednesday, patchy drizzle after 1, areas of frost before 8 a.m. Otherwise increasing clouds, high 53. Slight chance of showers, mostly cloudy, and a low 48 for Wednesday night. And we move to Thursday, that is. Showers mainly after 10 a.m., rain heavy at times, high 60. Showers continue into Thursday night, into Friday morning before 8 when we're at 56. And we get to just 47 degrees on Saturday. We have 59 in Ridgefield, 60 in Darien. Shelton has 60 degrees, Kate.
All right, thanks so much, Rob. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, as we said, Rob has some big sports news, as well as announcing the nominees for our Athletes of the Week. And Donald Eng will join us to take a look back in history. We also have a lot more news coming up on your coffee break after this.
When you experience a sports injury, you want to get better and fast. Coastal Ortho Express gives you direct access to orthopedic care quickly. Their physicians are fellowship trained in sports medicine at world-class universities and are also team doctors for area football teams. For specialized personal care of sports injuries, go to Coastal Ortho Express. Open Monday through Saturday in the iPark building, 761 Main Avenue in Norwalk, or coastalorthoexpress.com. Coastal Orthopedics, keeping you on the move.
Darien Sport Shop is a unique store because it's a family store. A busy mom can come in with kids in tow and find everything she needs for them, and even find a dress for herself for Saturday night. And if she's in a rush, she can simply go home and order it from us that night. We'll deliver it the next day. The Darien Sport Shop. We're pretty on the outside and amazing on the inside. Conveniently located with free and easy parking at 1127 Post Road, Darien, Connecticut. Or shop us online at dariensport.com.
Football University, the nation's leading football training experience, is now accepting applications for its 2015 camps. Our elite faculty of NFL coaches and top professionals teach position-specific on the field and in the classroom to improve your football IQ and help you reach your full potential as a player. Apply today at footballuniversity.org. Football University, where technique plus talent beats talent alone.
The fall bite is heating up. Albies, bonita, blackfish, alligator blues, and stripers are following the large schools of bait in the Long Island Sound. This is the time to visit the New England coast, and the Dock Shop can get you outfitted with the latest fishing gear, jackets, hats, gloves, and fleece. Boater, beach bum, fishermen simply love the New England coast. This is a unique place to shop. The Dock Shop, now in 2 locations, 51 Tokenique Road, Darien, 609 Riverside Avenue, Westport, or on the web, dockshop.com.
You are watching the HAN Network, and you're not alone. 102,000 viewers have enjoyed the HAN Network in just the last 6 weeks. Advertise on the network that reaches Fairfield County, Connecticut's most engaged audience. Contact Jessica Murrin, Advertising Director, at 203-273-7312 or email jessica@han.network.
And we're back on this Monday edition of your Coffee Break on the HAN Network. I'm Kate Czaplinski, and it's that great time of our show to throw it over to Donald Eng for a look back in this day in history.
It is that great time, and on this, it's a fall tradition of deep and horribly misplaced trust began on this day. But first, we're going to go to 1914. The Federal Reserve of the United States officially opens, formed in response to the Panic of 1907. When a series of runs on banks resulted in several of them collapsing. J.P. Morgan actually intervened with his own money to shore up the banks back then. But the Fed instilled confidence in the American public that the U.S. government was guaranteeing their funds would be available in banks. 1915, Coca-Cola has its prototype for the contoured bottle. The bottle made its commercial debut the following year. Coke's competitors had been copying the brand for years. Note the one in the center there with the plain straight side and the label. In 1914, the company issued a challenge to develop a bottle so distinct that you would recognize it by feel in the dark or lying broken on the ground. 1966, Dr. Samuel Shepard, acquitted in the second trial on charges he had murdered his wife in 1954. Shepard had spent a decade in prison for the murder of his wife Marilyn. His defense was that he was sound asleep and was awoken by a scuffle when an unidentified man knocked him unconscious. The television series and movie, The Fugitive, are loosely based on the case. He maintained his innocence to his death in 1970. And finally, in 1952, sports history with this.
Never jump into a pile of leaves with a wet sucker. Say, Charlie Brown, I've got a football. How about practicing a few place kicks? I'll hold the ball, and you come running and kick it. Oh, brother. I don't mind your dishonesty half as much as I mind your opinion of me. You must think I'm stupid.
And of course, the Peanuts comic strip, Lucy Van Pelt first holds a football for Charlie Brown. The gag actually began the year before when a character named Violet had pulled her hand away at the last second because she was afraid Charlie Brown would kick it. For the rest of the comic strip's run, 5 more decades, Charlie Brown's misplaced trust would be the subject of an annual cartoon sometime in early fall. Let's see. I'm trying to think of some of the ruses.
Poor Charlie Brown.
Lucy gave him a signed document that she wouldn't pull it away. She said it was a Thanksgiving tradition that she wouldn't pull the ball away. And poor Charlie Brown. Just a child's trust. That's a look back in history. And I am Donald Eng.
All right, thanks so much, Don. Well, before we turn it over to Rob Adams, getting back to a little more news today. Deer hunters and cullers are waiting for the winter snows to cover Ridgefield open space lands and bring out the deer that have so far evaded their best efforts. The culling season began October 25th, and 15 hunters have not been very lucky. According to Ridgefield's huntmaster Stefano Zandri, it's really going to happen quickly when the weather turns cold. He said things will pick up. The problem is that this year's bumper crop of acorns from oak trees has fed the deer so well that they are not out and about looking for food and are staying out of range of hunters' sights. The unseasonably warm weather hasn't helped hunters either. Local deer culling is meant to supplement the regular deer hunting that goes on at state parklands in Ridgefield. The culling takes place at town open spaces. It started October 12th and it ends January 31st. No rifles are permitted. Bow and arrow, shotgun, and muzzleloader guns are the only weapons allowed. Muzzleloaders are the old-fashioned guns like those used in the 1700s. A total of 15 hunters have signed up for the cull this year, a couple more than last year. Last year they shot 79 deer, and this year they hope to bag closer to 100 of the white-tailed deer. While hunters wait for winter and the cover of snow, meteorologists are saying that the winter weather should cooperate. The Farmer's Almanac is calling for another very frigid winter like last year's, so we'll have to keep an eye on that. Time to throw it over to Rob Adams for the latest in high school sports.
Kate, I like you. You're my friend, you're my colleague, but you're depressing me right now.
I'm sorry.
Making me crazed with the thought of another bad
It's
winter.
coming. Winter is coming.
It is coming. I have a feeling we'll be living right around this studio. All right, good morning once again, everyone. We did have state history over the weekend. On Saturday, the Darien Blue Wave beat the Staples Wreckers 27-0, but that's only a piece of the story for the Blue Wave. They have advanced to the FCAC championship game once again, and I bet you'll never guess who it is they're going to take on. You got it, the New Canaan Rams. The Rams took care of business against Fairfield Ludlow on Friday night. The Blue Wave get the win on Saturday pretty convincingly, in fact, over the Wreckers. 3 touchdown passes for Timmy Graham, 2 to Colin Minikis. Minikis also made a sparkling catch right now down near the goal line. But there's also the matter of Mark Ivanchek. We knew he would set the state record. All he needed was a half sack, and he got it very early on. We have the video and the play-by-play right here. Speed, and there it is! Mark Ivanchek with the sack, and congratulations from his teammates. Mark Ivanchek, now the record holder.
An unbelievable career for Ivanchek. Some of his teammates bowing down to him. But this game is still going on. And now that Ivanchek has gotten it, he's ready to continue to move forward and get a victory for his team here.
And they put it up on the scoreboard, a new state sack record. He's a very nice young man who I've interviewed a few times, both in lacrosse and here in football. So Mark Ivanchek, with 10 seconds remaining in the first half, on Saturday afternoon, November the 14th, 2015, is now the state sack champion.
Hey, Mark, this is Dwight Green. I just want to congratulate you on breaking the sack record. Wish you the best luck for the rest of the year. Good luck.
And you got a little sense of Dwight Freeney, who I happened to see last night on Sunday Night Football playing for the Arizona Cardinals as they knocked off the Seattle Seahawks. But Freeney also had some more words. I believe we've got the whole video of Dwight Freeney addressing the crowd. We'll play that for you later today on Nutmeg Sports at 2 o'clock. Don and I will have that for you later today. But again, Darien New Canaan, the FCAC championship game, that is coming your way Thanksgiving morning. It'll be at 10:30 at Boyle Stadium. We'll be on hand. We'll have lots to do as we get set up for the big championship game on Thanksgiving morning. A couple of other FCAC scores in football. St. Joseph continues to try to climb in their class. They beat West Hill 44-15. And how about the Ridgefield Tigers? You know, we saw them on opening night, and they really got kind of steamrolled by New Canaan. Then we saw them against Trinity Catholic a little later in the year. I get the feeling Joe Arciola and his football team doesn't want to see our cameras anymore because they're 0-2 when we're around. Since then, they've been magnificent. They beat Greenwich 37-7 on late Saturday afternoon at Cardinal Stadium. Also, from Class AA boys soccer over the weekend, Darien beat Fairfield Prep 1-0. That was a game we were following while we were at Darien High School, so congratulations to the Blue Wave. They move on to the state semis. Bridgeport Central beat Hall 1-0, and Wilton couldn't quite make it a trifecta as they lost to Farmington 4-3. From the Double L volleyball quarterfinals, Ludlow did it again. They beat Darien 3-2, scores of 25-15, 24-26, 19-25, and then 25-23 and 15-9. Congratulations to Ludlow. Greenwich over Amity 3-1, and Southington topped Ridgefield 3-2. Let's give you the schedule first for today and kind of the balance of the week as we jump into semifinal mode, and then we'll get to the athlete of the week. So we've got a very rich report this morning. In Double L girls soccer, semifinals, number 23 New Canaan is at number 6 Ridgefield at Ludlow. So it's against Ridgefield at Ludlow, 7 p.m. Class AA boys soccer, this is tomorrow. Darien and Farmington will be in action. Bridgeport Central and Glastonbury will be in action as well. Class L girls soccer, Pomperog and St. Joseph. Class L field hockey, Wilton and Conard. Class M field hockey, New Canaan and Laurelton Hall. And the Class AA finals in girls swimming will be at Southern Connecticut State University. There's more with girls swimming and the volleyball semis and girls diving as we move into Wednesday and Thursday as well. So still a busy week, a lot of championships to be resolved. And by the way, did you notice I didn't say Darien field hockey? Maybe we'll get to that during Nutmeg Sports as well. Tough loss there I did say Wilton, didn't I? Mo Minikis was really nice to join us during FCAC game day, so we'll talk a little bit more about that later on. As for your HAN Network FCAC Athletes of the Week, we'll start on the ladies' side. Rachel Burston of West Hill Stamford Diving is the first one up. She won her 4th FCAC diving title on November 4th. Hannah DeBalzi of Staples Cross Country is just like a regular in the nominees. Her 3rd straight New England Championship Saturday at Thetford Academy in Vermont. Also, Shannon Dayton of Trinity Catholic Diving won her 2nd consecutive Class S diving championship. We'll move down to Amanda Hendry, who we have been watching from Wilton Field Hockey. What a pro she has been. 17 saves, and Wilton survived Darien 3-2 in overtime on Friday. Katie Donovan of New Canaan Soccer, the senior goalkeeper. Very good player, and they've advanced to the state semifinals. Kylie McCaffrey of Ludlow Volleyball, we saw her as well in action. So good, as she had 12 service points, 14 kills, and 34 digs, and they did it to Darien once again. Abby Wolf of Greenwich Volleyball, 18 kills in the Cardinals' first 2 state Class LL tournament victories, and Jennifer Schranker of Darien Diving, who captured the Class L Diving Championship with a score of 391.65. On the men's side, it's Mark Ivanchek, of course, the aforementioned. John Michael Bavona of Trinity Catholic Football, 5 touchdowns as the Crusaders beat Bridgeport Central 51-14. Dakari Eason of Norwalk Football, 231 all-purpose yards, and he scored twice as they defeated the Trumbull Eagles, did the Norwalk Bears. Brian Azadian of Brian McMahon Football, 159 rushing yards. The Senators beat Ward 36-6 on Friday. Andres Palacio of Bridgeport Central Soccer, he's the keeper for the soccer team. 3 shutouts as they've moved on in Class LL. CJ Varian of Ridgefield Football caught 7 passes for 129 yards and 2 touchdowns. Ridgefield beat Greenwich 37-7, as I said. Jack Niffen, the goal in the 17th minute, carrying number 11 Darien over Fairfield Prep 1-0. And those are your Athletes of the Week. Those are the nominees. Get voting. You don't have as much time as normal. I think we're going to announce them on Friday, since we actually have a week off from games. Kate, with sports, I'm Rob Adams.
Yeah, that's right, Rob. So we don't have a game this Friday.
That's
so
right.
Instead of announcing it on tailgate, we're going to announce it on coffee break at 11. So it is less time to vote. So definitely start voting now. But thanks so much, Rob. We're going to take a quick break and come back with more news after this.
It's time to come back to hometown banking, where people are taken into account, not just balances. Where community comes first. A place where there's more than one kind of interest. Where automation will never replace consideration. Where they not only know your name, they know your dog's name too. It's time to expect more. It's time to bank well. Bank smart. Bank local. Bank well.
In Pound Ridge since 1993, the Wine Connection is one of America's best wine shops. Visit our beautiful store for the greatest in wine and knowledgeable service. With wonderful values from around the world to collectibles for your cellar, we are your one-stop source. Visit our online shop at wineconn.com and make sure to sign up for email updates. With great offers, new arrivals, and special events, don't miss all the action at The Wine Connection, including tastings every weekend. The Wine Connection, located at 32 Westchester Avenue, Pound Ridge, New York.
This fall for our red panda. That's right, Rashawn the red panda will be visiting the Beardsley Zoo for a limited time. Resembling raccoons, red pandas primarily eat bamboo, but will occasionally eat fruits, berries, young leaves, and certain tree bark, like their better-known black and white cousins. As an adult, Rashawn is expected to weigh 10 to 12 pounds, and you can see him at the South American Rainforest exhibit, Connecticut's Beardsley Zoo of Bridgeport. A whole new experience. 875 Noble Avenue, Bridgeport. 203-394-6565.
Find over 1,000 special stories at Hospital for Special Surgery. Go to hss.edu/backinthe-game.
I was jogging 5 months after my cartilage tear.
Skiing a year after hip surgery.
and playing grandma 4 weeks after hip replacement.
One special hospital, 1,000 special stories. See Connecticut patients at hss.edu/CT.
Back to school means back to busy, and Stewart's Market can save you precious time by stocking all of your favorite essentials under one roof. For a healthy start to school, we have all the ingredients. Walter Stewart's, your family-owned fresh local market, 229 Elm Street and at stewartsmarket.com.
And we're back on this Monday edition of your Coffee Break on the HAN Network. I'm Kate Czaplinski, bringing you the latest news, including that fishermen across Connecticut are angered that budget cuts proposed by Governor Daniel P. Malloy would close all 3 of the state's fish hatcheries. Closing the hatcheries could jeopardize the stocking of fish and end the Trout in the Classroom program operated by Trout Unlimited, in which thousands of students across the state learn lessons across curriculum by raising trout from eggs to fry, which are then set free in the spring. An online petition has started at change.org and asking the governor to stop these cuts. In March, Malloy announced cuts that would have closed the Kensington hatchery. That cut was rejected, and the new reductions asked to close all 3 facilities in Connecticut. Well, Jacob and Mark Goldenberg are the first father-son duo to volunteer for the Weston EMS, that according to a story in the Weston Forum. Mark Goldenberg was inspired to join after his son Jacob, at the age of 9, slipped after swim practice at Weston Middle School and cracked his head open on a mirror. Mark said he was so impressed with the response of the Weston EMS that he decided to be part of it. Mark joined the Weston EMS soon after and through the years has risen to become one of the captains of the squad. Recently, Jacob also joined Mark on the Weston EMS team, and together they've become the first known father and son duo to serve together. Jacob took an accelerated course in Bridgeport to become certified over the summer of 2014. You could read a lot more on their story and their work at thewestonforum.com. Well, the Milford Board of Aldermen recently gave its okay to demolish a house and garage on the city-owned Solomon property at 810 West River Street. The house and garage are part of a parcel that the city bought from the Alter family in 1999 for about $400,000. The city bought the adjacent 90-acre Solomon property in 2001 for $4.4 million, and today the large expanse of open space is referred to as the Solomon property. The house and garage have been empty since the city bought the property, and today they're showing definite signs of wear. Parts of the house are in ruin and it's open to the elements. The garage is also falling apart. Steve Johnson, Milford's open space and nature resource agent, wrote to the city's attorney's office that after considering options, they believe the best one is to demolish the garage and house. He said both structures are open to weather and animals. Both are not serving any purpose and will not benefit the open space use of the Solomon property. Johnson said the Solomon property is one of Milford's best kept secrets because it's a beautiful place to hike and even to snowshoe in the winter. And in some other Milford news, many people in New England are familiar with the graceful stone walls that dot the landscape. Sometimes people come across old stone walls while hiking in the woods. Well, on Monday, November 30th at 7 in the evening, Andrew Pigalis will discuss the fine art of building stone walls, both in his native England and here in the United States. Born in Yorkshire, England, Pigalis is an accomplished stone artisan, gardener, and horticulturist. He received his former horticultural training with the Royal Horticultural Society and has spent 31 years creating gardens and building dry stone walls in his native England and around the Yorkshire Dales. Today, Pigalis is one of a handful of U.S.-based professional members of the Dry Stone Walling Association of Great Britain. This program, being sponsored by the Friends of the Milford Public Library, is free and open to all. All right, time to throw it over to Rob Adams for one last look at today's weather. Rob?
All right, Kate, let's take a look at it. Sunny, high 62. You know, once we got through Saturday, it was a pretty pleasant Sunday, and I think it's going to be pretty nice today, so you really should try to enjoy what we have left of the nicer temperatures, if that's your thing. Some of you like the cold, and I truly don't understand you. No, I'm only kidding. Tonight we go clear, low around 34. Tuesday, sunny, high 48. Now, the wind chill values for you cold people will be between 30 and 40 with a wind out of the north from 5 to 8 miles per hour. Patchy frost after 2 tomorrow night. Otherwise, mostly clear, low 29. Patchy drizzle after 1 on Wednesday afternoon. Areas of frost before 8 in the morning. Otherwise, increasing clouds and a high 53 with a calm wind becoming southeast in the afternoon. Slight chance of showers Wednesday night, mostly cloudy, low 48. Showers mainly after 10 a.m. Thursday morning, heavy at times, high 60. 49 the low for Thursday night. Chance of showers Friday morning, but mostly cloudy, high 56. 36 for Friday night, 47 for Saturday, 45 for Sunday. Ridgefield is up to 60. Darien has 61, and Shelton right here, right there, 61 degrees, Kate.
All right, thanks so much, Rob. Well, that's going to do it for this Monday edition of your Coffee Break Nutmeg Sports with Rob Adams and Donald Lang coming up at 2. Tomorrow, Rob's going to be filling in for me at the Coffee Break News Desk. I'll have a day off, and I know I'll do a great job. So be sure tomorrow at 11 to get the latest news, sports, and weather. Have a great day, everyone.